I mean, there's two ways to look at it, right? Because, and people don't want to look at it this way, but this is the truth. When it comes to labels and new artists, there's usually about a 90% failure rate.
Definitely.
Right? 90% of the projects a label will put out with new artists, not established artists, new artists, will probably lose money.
Definitely.
The 10% will pay for the 90% of the losses.
Exactly.
That one platinum album will pay for the 100,000 that you lost on the 9 other albums.
Exactly.
Now, if you're the one that goes platinum, you're going to say, this is a fucked up deal. Like a Megan Thee Stallion. You know, she was the one person out that label that did well. And she's like, no, this is a fucked up deal. I deserve more, whatever else. The 9 people that you lose money on will never say, let me give you that money back.
No.
You see what I'm saying? So, and this is not diminishing your position. I'm just saying on a macro level, this is how it works in the record industry, which is why
I've been knowing this for a long time.
It's an industry I've never wanted to be in.
Yes.
It's more financially sound to buy lottery tickets, to buy scratch-off lottery tickets. It's more profitable to buy scratch-off lottery tickets than to start a record label and try to sign some new artists.
Right.
You'll almost definitely make more money with a scratch-off lottery ticket.
Definitely.
So, unfortunately, people like you get caught up.
Right.
Because of just the overall business structure.
Right.
And it's too bad. Because you got screwed,
yes.
But the 9 people who got $100,000 for an album that made no money that sold 14 copies were like, well, that's your problem. You didn't promote me well enough.
Exactly.
You know, you should have put me in the studio with this guy. I kept telling you what you do, but you wouldn't listen. So that's on you. You know what I'm saying? At no point have I ever heard of anyone who came out with an entertainment project that did poorly that gave the money back to the person who financed them.
Exactly.
I have never heard that in life. But I've heard a lot of people that have done well that say that they got bum contracts.
Oh, definitely.
So that's all I want to say about that.
Yeah, that's all that happened. I just
and
got
it's
a
unfortunately you're the one that did well.
Yes.
You know?
I did well for as far as hip hop, as far as Sony is concerned.
Yeah.
As far as Unknown with Techno Hop, because he was able to basically take me from Techno Hop, sign me to Sony, and played the middleman. And so, if Sony decided we finna give up $300,000 to make this record, he could go, shit, I'm finna take $200,000 and put it in my pocket. Yeah. And then we're gonna go try to do the record for $100,000. And then there, we're gonna record at my house. I'm gonna do all the beats with Slip. And so, and then you wondering why you still on the block in Compton and a nigga living down the street from Michael Jackson. You get me? So it's what happens, man.
Yeah, man. It's a business I've never wanted to be in.
Yeah.
It's a business, and look, like, for example, the homie Trey D, right? I believe, unless I'm mistaken, because remember he got into it with Snoop. And I think he shot at Snoop at one point, and because he was mad about his record deal and he felt like he wasn't compensated enough, only to have him start his own record label, sign DW Flame, and then DW Flame is accusing him that he's not successful because he didn't do enough.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? You see
that's
how
that
it goes
unfortunate. That's that unfortunate right there because
and listen, I fuck with all them.
You get into this business, and like you said, as an artist, really not knowing the ins and outs, you automatically think that, I'm finna be just as big, right? Yeah. And a lot of artists come in and, us having that little knowledge of being artists and having contracts, we try to start these little labels, but I've never been influenced to sign an artist. I've never been.
Which is probably the best business decision you've ever made.
I've never been influenced to sign.
Me neither.
Because,
me neither.
I might have a little change, but I know what's expected as far as an artist is concerned, and especially when they're comparing themselves to other artists who might be doing well. where's my motherfucking $1 million and then publishing and how come I ain't got this and how come you ain't got me on motherfucking MTV and how come I ain't here and the expectation is that an overnight success can happen. And sometimes when you're an artist yourselves and you're dealing with independency and you're trying to help out a young dude that you might see that's hot or whatever, it could be really frustrating. So I've never been influenced to sign an artist. I've only I'm just gonna fuck with myself and that's it. Because I don't want to have the situations of thinking that I'm gonna change somebody else's life, and it doesn't happen for them.
Right. And how often do these indie labels blow up an artist and the artist stays with that label for the rest of their career?
Yeah.
Almost never.
Yeah.
They'll have a hot record and then they'll go and sign Rock Nation.
Yeah.
And that'll be it. And they'll say that person didn't do shit for me anyways.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yes. You have the quality controls that actually have brought up artists that stayed with them long periods of time. You have some unicorns here and there, but in general, all these startup labels, the one artist that'll blow up, as soon as they're able to leave, they'll leave right off the bat.
Oh, definitely.
And they won't take you with them.
No.
They won't keep you as the manager or the executive producer.
No,
never, ever. I'm just saying, it's an ugly business, and it rarely works out business-wise.
The record labels is a fucked up business.
It's a fucked up business. You're better off just doing it yourself.
Why you think everybody podcasting now? Shit.
It's easier. Yeah, man, listen. Look, like Tony Yayo, the last interview we did in New York, he brought a bunch of the little homies, like one of the G-Unit dudes had like some sort of a program that takes kids and shows them different aspects of business. And it was like, look, they could sit in on this Vlad TV interview in our big fancy studio in New York, and they could see me doing something that's a whole lot easier for them to accomplish than to be a 50 Cent.
Oh, definitely.
You could be an interviewer like Vlad way easier than being a popular rapper.
Yeah, definitely.
Way easier.
Yeah, definitely.
And here you could see it done at one of the highest levels in hip hop.
People love to hear conversations and stories as opposed to you trying to be the next, like you said. It's going hard to be fitting somebody's shoes. Now, if you can hold an interesting conversation with somebody and you can be a little articulate and you know how to pronounce a couple of words and shit, that might can work for you. But trying to be an artist, following somebody's footsteps is very hard. Trying to recreate, great moments in hip hop, man, that shit is hard, man. Yeah. It's real hard.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be a poet.
Yeah, man, come on.
You have to be a musical genius. Like, you can't just recreate a Dre.
No.
There's something different about Dre's brain and his ears. And
it's just, like I said, we get one of those every now and then.
Exactly.
Those don't come around too often. Dudes that articulate like that, they come around not too often. So you have to honor that.
When Dre said Eminem is the greatest rapper of all time. Now keep in mind, right? The argument is, well, that's his artist. Of course he's going to say that. He's had lots of artists. He's had Ice Cube. He has Kendrick. You know what I mean? I don't think Dre is thinking, oh, well, financially, this is the best answer. I feel like that was his honest answer.
Yeah, because to him, it's basically, not to say it's his artist, but he's different. And, not to say that Cube and Kendrick or whoever were on the same pattern, but...
Snoop, another one.
You've seen that.
Yeah.
You've seen that.
He's got a bunch of artists that turn into mega icons.
You got to you got a great, you got a team of stars and shit, but there's only one Michael Jordan. You got a team of motherfucking great, great fucking picture painters. There's only one Leonardo, Da Vinci.
Yeah.
So that's the category he's putting in. To me, I feel, after seeing a Kendrick, now Kendrick's a great artist. He's quoted that. Nobody could top Cube. You get me? Cube was the shit. So with Snoop. Snoop's in the lane of his own.
Yeah.
But to him, in his opinion of, I've worked with niggas from this color to that color. I've worked for motherfuckers from singing to rapping to jazz to fucking, you know, whatever. And in my opinion, to me, he's the greatest artist that I've come across because he's able to do something that I haven't seen anyone else do as far as what he creates.
Yeah, no, he even talked about how the first day in the studio, he played the beat for, you know, hi, my name is, he played the beat and suddenly Eminem just came up with that whole thing right there on the spot.
I thought that was real crafty. I used to bang the shit out of hi, my name is.
And
it was different.
And Dre was like, God damn, this guy's...
He's giving us all type of music, you know, it's something that we are related to as far as the ears, and the beat is just captivating. But then when you hear this motherfucker talking about school and fucking parents and shit like that, you only imagine yourself being in his shoes as from what he came from. And it was crafty than just doing something typical like a Ice Baby or, you know, fucking I'm a rap over wild thing, or I'm a rap, something that they would expect a white artist to do. You feel me? So for him to be able to come with that depression and that expression about life and what he felt about it, it just was able to captivate a different audience. You get me?
Yeah, and to this day, whatever, 20-some years later, he's still on the charts. He's still dropping music that people are reacting to. So and it is what it is.
That's sort of like Kendrick now, you know. He's able to take situations that we wouldn't necessarily even talk about. But because his mind is different and he knows how to articulate shit in the difference of just going, I'm going to pick up a gun and go blast on a nigga, or I'm going to claim the neighborhood. He says different things that you still can go, damn, that was clever as fuck. Because he talking about something as simple as what I do all day. You feel me? So... Those are different dudes, man. Those are different dudes, and you can't put nothing past them. Eminem, Kendrick, you have to give them their own lane. You know, I don't even consider them in. Nigga ain't no rapper. That motherfucker's he's different. You get me?
Yeah.
He's past the idea of me putting a CD in my car, rolling down the street, bumping and shit. He's a motherfucker that I'm gonna have to pull over and listen to what he's saying, and then I'm gonna go, damn, that nigga said that. You know, so that's how you look at Eminem. That's how you look at Kendrick.
That's what it is. MC8, man. Glad to finally have you back.
Sure, you know what it do.
You know,
Vlad
make sure
TV.
you watch the Gangsters Chronicles.
Y'all go tune in, Gangster Chronicles. Shout out my boy Steele. Shout out Vlad TV. It's official.
That's what it is. Peace.